New numbers show Trump gaining even greater ground against Biden. And these numbers are presented by MSNBC. Welcome to Doug in Haircut. Thank you guys for your subscription. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to try not to let you down this week. Let's go.
We talk about the erosion for Biden, and now you start to see it. Look at these numbers. Trump advantages on all of these traits.
And I stop here because competent and effective, that was President Biden's, the crux of his campaign pitch back in 2020.
And we actually polled this question in 2020, and it was basically the exact opposite. It was Biden with about a 10-point advantage over Trump.
So this is about the mainstream media losing its control on the masses. This is good news because everyone goes like, oh, what are we going to do about media? Oh, we have to start our alternate media because how are we going to get the truth out? No, mainstream media has been lying so much to the people that the people are going, we don't believe you anymore, even if you march out a great actor like Michael Douglas. But let's continue with the polls.
And again, same with handling a crisis. Biden had the edge over Trump. And how about this? It's the former president, the current president. We don't really see matchups like this. Well, now we can measure it. Who has the strong record as president? And again, Trump outpacing Biden on that front.
This really is the main test, is now you have two presidents comparing their record. So it's really is like apples to apples. And when it's apples to apples, the people are saying, we remember Trump. It was better, in spite of him being hobbled by COVID across the entire country. And now we've seen what Biden does, making a best educated decision we can. Trump wins that clearly. Pulling Biden, crippling him over the finish line is not going to work this time.
And again, you got to mention this one too, necessary mental and physical health. We asked this 4 years ago. It was a wash. It's now a clear liability for Joe Biden.
And that's really is Biden's biggest problem, is that he's not competent. He's not coherent enough to be president. Now, here's Michael Douglas on CNN, really showing his faith in Biden and his faith, and he thinks he can still fool you.
Are you one of those people who wished he had bowed out, let the field choose somebody else? How do you think about that?
Well, I think that I walk a little similar to him, and the people that I've talked to and everybody that I have. Say he's as sharp as a tack. He's fine. We all have an issue with memories.
Now, this is a total incompetent cover-up for Biden. We all have trouble with memories. I have trouble with memory, but that's not an excuse for Biden. He can barely walk. He can't think. He clearly can't think on his own. I wouldn't hire him to work at my 7-Eleven. Right? If you had a cast of employees trying to get a job at 7-Eleven, you look at Joe Biden, you go, look, you can't handle the cash register. I'm sorry. You're a little too old. You're a little too, not just too old, old's the wrong word. It's anyone with that level of mental ability, no matter what age, you could not hire at a 7-Eleven.
As we get older, we forget names, he's overcome a stutter in his life, and sometimes he might.
Biden's stutter has never been documented, and it was never a problem. He never ran on I overcame a stutter until 2020, when they were making him disappear from the stage. They made it sound like Biden, this giant blowhard who tore Clarence Thomas apart in his Supreme Court hearings. Suddenly Biden is racked with this overcoming this terrible stutter. It was always BS meant to snow us, and the people aren't buying anymore. This guy's problem is not a stutter, Michael Douglas. You wouldn't let him drive a car.
Let's just say that his entire cabinet, including his vice president, everybody in his cabinet, would be more than happy to work with him again in the next term. I cannot say that about the other candidate running, because nobody in his cabinet from 2016 wants to be involved with him.
Okay, this is another false equivalence, because when people want to work as a Democrat under Biden, they don't want to work with him. Okay, so this isn't about, oh, the cabinet people are so in love with him that they can't wait to work with him again. It's their Democrats. They're part of a machine. They know they're just a cog and Biden is just a figurehead, a puppet head. They don't want to work with that puppet. They'll work with any puppet. And then with Trump, who has a lot of people that don't want to work with him again, it's because he actually is a man with unique character traits and unique ideas that a swamp can't find purchase. So two totally different situations between why people want to remain in a Democrat cabinet, which has nothing to do with Biden, and people who don't want to work with Trump, which may have something to do with Trump, but it actually may be a feature, not a bug. It may be a good thing. And I think it is a good thing that certain people don't want to work with him because he's a change agent.
This is viewed favorably across Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. In the 2020 exit polls, what do we see? 50% of voters view Joe Biden on average favorably in those states compared to just 45% for Donald Trump. Look at the Joe Biden trend line where he is now. Joe Biden is far less liked than he was 4 years ago. Just 43% of voters now view Joe Biden favorably in these states. And Donald Trump, despite everything that has happened, is actually slightly more liked.
Let that sink in. Despite everything that's happened against Trump, it didn't work. The people are not as brainwashed as we think they are. They're not. This giant one voice, the Democrat Party, media complex, big tech, universities, Hollywood, it didn't work. They said, in spite of all these cases against Trump, trying to frame him as a felon, as a fascist, as all these things, it didn't work, is the conclusion. Guys, this is CNN. The previous clip was from MSNBC. This is the enemy saying it didn't work.
47% favorable rating. So this isn't just a lesser of two evils that's going on. The fact is that Donald Trump is, in fact, better liked than he was 4 years ago and is better liked than Joe Biden is right now in these battleground states. It's pretty gosh darn clear.
It's clear, guys. And I like what he said. He goes, it's not just the lesser of two evils, guys. They're actually like him. So it's all my Republican side, my conservative side, my buddies that go, look, we're going to vote for the lesser of two evils. We'll vote for Trump. Even CNN is saying, it's not the lesser of two evils. People like Trump better. I thought I'd start our week off with some good news. Remember this, put all the bad news that report in this context. We're starting here. Trump is winning. The greatest threat to him, which is the media narrative trying to destroy him, did not work. And that's the Democrats saying it. I'm Doug in Exile.
So these are all troubling numbers for Biden.